Some have observed that New Jersey is being impacted now with some of the most difficult economic times we've faced here as a state in decades. Do you agree?
We're not in challenging economic times, but as a state, we're not dealing with our problems responsibly. And therefore, if we don't do that, we're second only to Illinois in terms of our debts and responsibility for paying our debts. Now, eventually, like a family, that catches up with you. If you don't pay your debts, you can put them off for a long, long time, but then they come and hit you in the back of the head, and all of a sudden you're bankrupt and you've all sorts of problems, and that's going to happen to the state.
In your view, Governor Whitman, how are we doing economically?
Well, I agree with Governor Kane. We have a big challenge, and certainly the rating agencies look at us and say, you're right at the edge. You're teetering on the edge of another downgrade. And that's not good, because that makes the cost of borrowing money, which the state does on a fairly regular basis, more expensive. And that, again, adds to the deficit, adds to the problems that we have. And so it's challenging. We have a very diversified economy. In the state, we have lost a number of the pharmaceuticals that we've had, but we've brought in other businesses. So that part of it is good, but it's a constant challenge. And we'll know after the census how we've done on increasing the population.
New Jersey certainly has a great location between New York and Philadelphia, two major metropolitan regions. How are we doing, do you think, Governor, in terms of attracting businesses and creating jobs?
We were rated this year as the worst state as far as attractiveness to business. Now, it's one of the rating services. You can argue with it, I guess, but we get rated there second last or last every single year. And what that means...
Not always. We didn't used to.
No, we didn't used to. No. Hey, well, we didn't used to do a lot of things. When I was governor, we had a AAA bond rating, one of the best in the country. I mean, it's you know, we've changed. And these are our problems now. So we're not in great shape. We're not going to continue it. Businessmen complained about the regulatory climate here, the more regulations of the states. They claim about the taxes, they're overtaxed, they tax more than other states. And so, you know, they move with their feet. And we lose businesses, we lose small businesses, we lose large businesses, and, you know, that's our lifeblood.
Taxes you mentioned, and retired people about to retire, are moving out of the state.
Well, yes, for taxes. They move to Florida because there is no inheritance tax. You know, those are the kinds of decisions that people will make. Those that can afford to make them will make them. And that's not surprising. It makes sense, in fact, if you think about it from their perspective. But it's not good for the state. I don't think we're ever going to do away with the estate tax, but it's something that needs to be looked at, certainly, as to what's the trade-off here with the income that we lose from the people who move versus what we get from the inheritance tax. And where is that point, that tipping point?
On another topic, education. Governor Kane, you were